Do you think having a strong mind means not caring what other people think? You're making a fatal mistake. In fact, that's precisely the weakness emotional predators count on to trap you. Truly powerful minds aren't the ones that ignore red flags. They're the ones that spot manipulation from a mile away, with such astonishing speed that toxic people don't even dare to get close. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the tools to build exactly that kind of mind. We'll uncover the 5 mental habits that force manipulators to avoid you completely. You'll discover the fundamental mindset shift that stops any gaslighting attempt in its tracks, and why most people's idea of mental strength actually makes them much easier prey. But here's the warning. If you're not prepared to face some uncomfortable truths about why you've been a target in the past, you'd better stop now, because what I'm about to reveal will forever change the way you see every single one of your relationships. Still here? Excellent. It's time to forge a mind that inspires fear in the right people. Let me ask you a question that might sting a little. Why do some people seem completely immune to manipulation, while others fall into the same trap over and over again? It's not about intelligence. I know some of the most brilliant people who have been emotionally annihilated by narcissists. It's not about experience either. I've seen 50-year-olds fall for the same tactics that fooled them when they were 20. The real difference is this. Genuinely strong minds don't just resist pressure, they make predators feel uncomfortable in their presence. This is what no self-help guru dares to tell you. They sell you the idea of, don't care what they think, or just be more confident. That's garbage advice that actually makes you more vulnerable. True mental strength isn't about building walls, it's about installing a radar. It's about developing a psychological awareness so sharp that toxic people feel exposed around you, as if they were standing naked under an incandescent spotlight that reveals every one of their dark intentions. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop trying to be unbreakable, start becoming unmanipulatable. When you hear figures like David Goggins talk about mental toughness, they're referring to pushing through physical pain. That's one form of strength, no doubt, but they're as a weapon. Another comment left me cold. They can smell empaths like a predator smells blood. That's exactly right. And this is why most advice on mental strength fails miserably for empathetic people. First, the trap of giving the benefit of the doubt. You've been taught that giving chances is a noble act, but predators count on it. They know you'll find excuses to justify their red flags because, deep down, you want to believe in the good in people. Second, the pattern of emotional absorption. You think feeling others' emotions makes you a compassionate person, but manipulators use your empathy as a projectile weapon. They flood you with their fabricated crises until your mind becomes clouded and you're unable to think clearly. Third, the conflict avoidance reflex. You've learned that keeping the peace is a sign of maturity, but toxic people interpret your avoidance as explicit permission to escalate their abuse. Let me tell you a true story. The story of Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos. For years, she deceived investors, employees, and board members, including former U.S. Secretaries of State and Defense. How did she do it? She didn't just lie about her technology. She studied each person's psychological profile and became the exact mirror of what they wanted to see. To older men, she was the brilliant daughter they never had. To women, she was the symbol of breaking glass ceilings. To investors, she was the next Steve Jobs. The people who saw through her first weren't the smartest or the most experienced. They were the ones who trusted their gut when they felt something in her performance just didn't add up. Apply these 5 mental habits that will make manipulators avoid you. First habit, the emotional detachment test. Strong minds don't get swept away by artificial urgency or manufactured drama. When someone creates emotional intensity to cloud your judgment, pause and ask, why does this have to be decided right now? Manipulators hate this question because their tactics require you to be emotionally overwhelmed. The moment you step back and apply logic, their power evaporates. Second habit, story verification. This comes from one of your comments. Watch who leans in to ask questions when someone shares their pain. Not to comfort, but to analyze. Strong minds automatically cross-reference stories, not guilt, anger, or a made-up emergency. Strong minds don't engage in that game. They simply repeat the boundary. Fourth habit, recognizing patterns over isolated incidents. A viewer wrote, "Their love is a weapon. Their care is a trap." That's recognizing patterns. Strong minds don't judge people by single actions. They look for patterns of behavior. Is this person consistently helpful, or do they only help you when they need something in return? Do they celebrate your wins, or do they always find a way to belittle them? Fifth habit, being comfortable with not being liked by everyone. This is the nuclear option that makes predators flee. Strong minds prefer to be disliked for who they are than loved for who they pretend to be. When you stop needing everyone's approval, manipulators lose their primary weapon, your fear of rejection. Use this immunity protocol against gaslighting. It's a mindset shift that stops it in its tracks, based on a simple principle. Your memory is evidence, not an opinion. Those who practice gaslighting make you doubt your own experiences by treating your memories as if they were debatable. That's not what happened. You're being too sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. Strong minds respond with a devastating calm. I know what I experienced. The 3-step immunity protocol. First step, document everything. Not because you're paranoid, but because manipulators count on you doubting yourself. When you have records, they can't manipulate you about the facts. Second step, trust your physical reactions. Your body keeps score. If someone makes you feel exhausted, anxious, or confused after every interaction, that's data, not a character flaw. Third step, the reality check network. Strong minds maintain relationships with people who knew them before the manipulator arrived. These people can confirm if you've really changed or become difficult as you're being accused. A real example, the workplace gaslighter. A manager at a tech company was systematically undermining a high-performing employee. In every meeting, he would contradict things she had said before, claim she had agreed to things that weren't true, and tell her she was misremembering conversations. The turning point came when she, with consent and legally, began to record the meetings. Morning reality check. Start each day by reminding yourself of 3 things you know to be true about yourself. Not opinions, facts. This builds immunity to external manipulation of your self-image. The nightly pattern review. Before bed, quickly review your interactions. Did anyone try to make you doubt yourself? Did you notice any manipulation attempts? This sharpens your recognition skills. The weekly boundary audit. Once a week, ask yourself, what did I say yes to when I should have said no? What boundaries did I let slide? This prevents the slow erosion that manipulators rely on. You'll know this is working by one unmistakable sign. The manipulators in your life will escalate their attacks. When you stop being easy to control, they will try harder to control you. They'll accuse you of having changed, of being difficult, or of becoming just like them. They might even recruit others to pressure you back into submission. This is the final test. Weak minds cave under this pressure and return to their manipulable state. Strong minds recognize this escalation as irrefutable proof that they are on the right track. One of you said it perfectly in a comment. When you stop being everyone's doormat and start demanding the respect you deserve, some people are going to hate you for it. Fantastic! That means you're finally growing a backbone. Right now, you have 2 options. Option 1, close this video. Go back to hoping people will be good to you and keep wondering why you attract the same toxic patterns over and over again. Option 2, start building a mind so powerful that manipulators can't even get close. Start trusting your instincts. Start enforcing your boundaries. Start becoming someone who makes predators uncomfortable just by existing. The choice is yours. But remember, every day you wait is another day you remain vulnerable to people who see your kindness as a weakness. If you're ready to build that kind of mental strength, subscribe. Check the description for other related videos on how to stop manipulation attempts spot manipulators, and deal with toxic people. And leave a comment telling me what the biggest manipulation tactic you've fallen for is.